guys, Katrina here, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a more formal chit-chatty video, and I'm going to tell you about my horse journey, how I got involved with horses, all of the different things that I've done, and where I am now. So I would say it all started out about when I was 3 years old. My parents took me to like a local county fair, and I went on the little pony rides. When they took me off of the pony rides, my parents told me that I cried and cried and cried, so the lady who was in charge of it, she let me go back around for another round. And I think that was the first moment that my parents realized my horse addiction. I started taking riding lessons at age 4 or 5, and I took English riding lessons at different barns throughout my area. I rode at some barns that had some local shows. I started doing that, and my foundation that I started in riding was dressage. After I started getting more into the dressage riding, I started to look for my own horse. When I was about 12 years old, I got my first horse. His name was Jesse. He was a registered paint horse. He was a breeding stock, so he wasn't actually colorful. He was just chestnut with a blaze and one white sock. And I had him for about 5 years, and when I started moving up the levels in dressage, I sold him, and I actually started leasing my coach's horse, who was a Frisian. His name was Icarus, and I rode him for a few years, showed him at local dressage events, things like that. When my lease with him ended, I then started leasing a Hanoverian thoroughbred gelding named Bugsy. He was a 21-year-old schoolmaster, probably one of the coolest horses I've ever encountered in my life. You rode him, you sat on him, you thought leg yield, and he was going over. He was so cool. I leased him for a little bit, and then his age caught up with him, so his owner retired him. And around that same time, I ended up going to college, and for about 5 years, my riding went to a stop. I didn't get on a horse for over 5 years. Just this spring, I started taking riding lessons again after the 5 years of not being on a horse. I rode for a few months, and then I actually had a bit of a back injury, so I've had to take some time off, unhorse related. But I had to take some time off, and I haven't been riding for a few months now, so I hope to start that back up again one day. Okay, so rewind a little bit. While I still had my first horse, Jesse, in 2005, that is when I became involved in the miniature horses. Fall of 2005, I got my first miniature horse. It was a little bay mare, and her name was Amber. And when we bought her, she was in foal. The following spring, May of 2006, my first foal was born, Huey. It was a bit of a hectic day the day he was born. We actually almost lost him when he was born due to us being very inexperienced and this being our first time, and complications with the birth and pregnancy of the mare that we didn't really know at the time. That's a whole another story for another day, and if you're interested, I could maybe tell the whole story about that sometime. But anyways, Huey was my first foal. I still have him today. Like I said, he was born spring of 2006. It's 2017, so that would make him 11 years old. I still show him. He's won some awards, won a very special award, which I should be getting in the mail pretty soon, which I'm going to hopefully do an unboxing of, and I could talk about that silly pony all day, and you'll see him more in the videos. He's actually going to be the first horse that I do a Meet My Horse series on. Like I said, I could ramble about this horse all day. He's my heart horse. I love him. So after Huey was born, we then bought another mare in foal and our own breeding stallion, and from there we kept buying, selling, breeding, things like that, and here I am today with a little herd of 9 miniature horses who I really love. So even though I had 5 years where I wasn't riding, I was still involved with the horses, really involved with the miniatures. And with this channel, I hope to really showcase all the different things we can do with the miniatures, because I don't really think people understand what we can do with them. They think, oh, it's just a little horse, what do you do with it? Well, a lot actually. They drive, they jump, they do obstacle classes, we show them in showmanship, halter classes where they judge conformation, and they're just fun to have around. They're full of personality, they really don't know they're as small as they are, and I really think they're underrated. I guess that gives you a bit of info about my horse history, where I started, where I am now, my history with my riding horses, some of the big horses that I've had, my background foundation in dressage, which I now take over into my miniatures and my driving training, which is something that I'm going to explain to you guys hopefully. So I hope you enjoyed this first attempt of a more sit-downy formal chit-chat video that I did here, story time if you will. I hope to do more of these type of videos on this channel as well as the vlog style that I've been doing, and I'm going to keep learning as I go. Like I said, I'm new to this, but I just wanted to kind of share what my life was like owning miniature horses and at my miniature horse farm, and I really just wanted to teach more people about the miniature horse breed in general. So since I've been involved in the horses pretty much all my life, I do have a lot of different stories to tell. Everything from first falls, bad falls, scary barn stories, first shows, things like that. So if you would be interested in hearing any of that, I'd definitely be willing to share, and I'm open to suggestions, so leave it down below. I just wanted to put out this video as a first kind of introduction video. The next more formal sit-downy chit-chat video I'm going to do is my Meet My Horses series, where I go through each of my horses individually, all 9 of my miniatures, and I give you guys some more info on them, how old they are, you'll know their names, things like that. I'll get some fun clips of them, show some pictures of them when they were foals, different things like that. So stay tuned if you are interested in knowing more about my miniatures. So I hope you guys stay tuned for some more videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!